The podcast you're about to hear involves true stories, which may contain graphic content that is not suitable for children. Listener's discretion is advised. This is Esoteric Oddities.
Wake up, San Francisco.
It's your hosts,
Danny
Jonathan
Tanner.
and Sarah.
Oh. Danny Tanner and Rebecca
McDonaldson. Matt Carter.
Wait, what was her last name?
Donaldson.
Was it?
Yeah. Just Donaldson, not like McDonaldson.
And then it was Stephanopoulos, right?
It's
Uncle Jesse, whatever his last name
Jesse, wasn't it? No.
was. Krabappel?
It was something Greek, but not Stephanopoulos. That sounds like an STD. No, it's Jesse. Fucking what was it?
I'm Googling it.
Google it faster.
I was going to say looking it up, and then I say Googling.
I was Googling it.
Jesse Steph.
Just say Jesse last name, Full House. Do you not know how to Google?
I literally am having the hardest time right now. I typed in Uncle Jesse Les Miserables because it came up and I panicked. What's going on? Katsopoulos.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people out there were probably screaming at us.
I almost said Stamos.
What kind of last name is that bullshit? Hi guys, this is Esoteric Oddities.
You came here to the right place if you want to laugh at stupid people.
We're your stupid people.
So I moved this weekend on Sunday, and my mom kept calling John Johnny.
And John. I love your mom so much. She can call me whatever she wants.
Debatable.
Hi Colleen, I know you're listening. Love you. She made it a point to tell us she's listening.
She did, but I don't know if you guys have heard the things I say on here. I was trying to hint that she shouldn't listen without telling her not to listen. I was like, Mom, it's not safe for work.
She's like, oh yeah, I don't listen at work.
She was like, I listen in my car. And I'm like, oh, okay.
But yeah, we both moved. Sarah and Jason helped and her family helped, but
Jonathan did everything, I feel.
It was.
He really,
He
really pulled it all together.
Thank you. I tried. But
you did.
It was how hot out?
Oh my god, it was 100 degrees.
At like 10 in the morning. I got there around like 9ish, and it
Yeah.
was already 98 degrees. That is not a
and then the house that
Nicholas
I lived
Shea
in
reference.
before didn't have any air conditioner, so it wasn't even like
no central air, and the window units were donezo. Like they
Yeah.
were packed. Also, it didn't help. Sarah's street isn't a street right now. They literally
it's a dirt road.
it's a dirt ass road because shouts out to North Philly for just
being the shit.
I think they were taking out your sewage pipes, right?
Yeah, because there's lead in the water, so like no one told us about that. So if I die of lead poisoning, rest in peace to me. Y'all know what happened.
Mm-hmm. And I'll sue. And then with the money that I win, I'm going to open a pizzeria in your name.
Is it going to be like connected to Pizzagate?
No.
Okay, good.
Why the fuck would you say that?
The money, honey. I'm just kidding.
No. So we had to walk it all the way down a city block in the heat.
It was not fun.
Up 2 flights of stairs.
Yes, and then not to mention that
but we're gonna mention it.
So my cat had this cat tower. I decided to leave it at my old house because it's just old, and I don't want to bring it.
And it's broken.
It is broken. He broke it. I didn't even mention that. I'm like, I'm just not gonna.
It's like broken in half. There's like a nail sticking out of the top.
So he's now sleeping on the bottom of my bed. And it's so fucking annoying because there's just no room for him. Like, with my girlfriend's feet and my feet, there's no room for him. And he just, like, gets in where he fits in. And then it's like she either has room or I have room. And I just can't, I couldn't do it anymore.
Yep.
So I woke up last night and he was literally on the pillow with her, sleeping on the pillow with her.
That's cute, though.
It is so cute. And I'm like, do I need to get him a cat tower now?
Well, that's what baby used to do when you and me used to sleep in the same bed.
Right? And it's, oh my God, you cannot put your legs anywhere. And I feel restricted, and then being restricted makes me feel even worse. And then
I hate it. That's why I can't sleep against the walls. Jason will always sleep against the walls.
I sleep against the wall.
Put me in a box. I'd like to see you try.
So I think my my house is haunted. My new one.
Ooh, great segue into our topic, which is haunted houses.
Tings?
Haunted things.
Haunted things. It's just like I hear really weird noises and I can't tell like if it's outside. And I think someone's working on the house that's connected to mine because I hear a lot of like drilling and like stuff like that. But I'm like, I don't see anyone leave the house.
Did you, they're definitely doing work if you're looking at your front door, the door to the right of you. Because when you go out to your balcony, all that fucking shit, they're like gutting the house.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, we'll check off that.
They're definitely doing something, but they have to be because it's like wood from like the fucking like doorways and the trim.
Right, and it's just like trash in the backyard, like thrown.
But do you know what year your house was built? Because Sarah's place is like newly renovated. Like
it's
everything's
so
new and updated and shit. But you have like a little gate at the front of your thing, and you have the Philadelphia. If y'all don't know, it's a very old place.
Oh, the horse.
The horse,
thing.
yeah.
Yes.
Out front of her house, she has things that like y'all used to tie up your horses on there.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. But it definitely was like it used to be one house, I think, and then they split it.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. What do you think? Like maybe 1600s?
I think so. How would I even find that?
Type in your address, and I think it should come up on Zillow. Oh, it definitely was not the 1600s. I had to Google this. Guys, don't fucking waste your money on college. Just use Google. I was like, wait, when was George Washington president? It was the late 1700s, 1789 to 1797. Only real 90s kids will remember Georgie Washington.
Georgie Porgy.
But while you're looking that up, yes, today, as I mentioned in the previous episode, which I feel like is kind of a bad idea talking about it here, but you know what? I say frick it all to heck. But we're going to be talking about haunted houses, haunted places. All of my stories are going to be personal stories that have happened to me. I haven't had too many paranormal experiences, but the ones that I have, I will talk about here, specifically the house that I live in currently.
Yikes.
More specifically, the house we are recording this podcast in at this very second.
Abort.
But I just want to share my thoughts on ghosts and spirits because I know that there obviously is a controversy over it. You know, you got the skeptical people, which I would call myself a skeptic, not in the sense that I don't believe that these things exist. I really do believe that these things exist, but I think more times than not there probably is a logical explanation for things, but I definitely do believe in ghosts and spirits. I just won't always like chalk up anything that happens as like a weird ghostly experience.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? Do I get what I'm saying?
It's weird because it could be like coincidental and it could also be true. It's like one of those things.
Right, but the shit that's happened in this house, there's too many weird things. Yeah. Weird
like
things.
Unexplainable. So how do you explain that?
How do you explain the unexplainable, baby? You can't just Google it.
Can't just look it up in Google.
My thoughts on ghosts and spirits is I think that our souls are kind of like the essence of our being is made up of like measurable energy, right? The same way that your brainwaves give off measurable energy that you can like record. So then there's the whole thing, the law of conservation of energy. Listen to me try to talk like I went to fucking college after after I just talked about how I didn't know when George Washington was president. Also, he
had wooden teeth. It doesn't matter.
I can probably name maybe 5 to 7.
I love that credit at the end. 5 to 7, like really confident.
I was like maybe 7. Can't tell you more than that of the presidents. Not my president. So basically, the law of conservation of energy in part says energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So to me, this is just kind of how I think of it, is we are energy. That's how we live. That's how we move, you know. But separate from our bodies, we have like our soul.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my belief. Feel free to disagree with me at any point. But that's just how I think of it. So I think that when we die, you know, nobody knows what happens or where we go from here. But I feel like it is possible that a piece of your energy, even though your body can be like decomposed or turned into ashes or being served up in a slice of pizza at Sarah's Pizzeria.
Love that.
Now at our new location on Sampson and Broad. Just kidding.
Oh, cute.
That's actually an alleyway. Don't go there. You will probably be shanked.
True.
But, you know, I feel like it's possible that our energy can linger. And that's why, you know, when people take photographs and you see orbs and shit.
Right, because it's
like
energy.
That's kind of what I picture like ghosts and spirits to be. But I feel as though they can manifest themselves into smells. You know, when you like sometimes smell weird smells you haven't smelled in a long time, like cigars and shit. My mom was telling me this story about how her and my dad in their very first apartment that they lived in together, they would always smell this like smoky ass cigar, and the person who lived there before never smoked, but the person who lived there before, like, I guess smoked those cigars and like died in the house or something. So they would always just get a whiff of this like really distinct smell. And my mom said it because we posted that bonus episode and I had the cigar thing. And she said when she watched it,
it reminded her
of that.
And that's what I mean, like, how do you explain things like that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it could be like in the wood, it could be in the walls, and it could have just been like, but years later, who knows? Who fucking knows? I get what you're saying though, but like yeah, I feel like it can be in smells, or, you know, maybe the energy can, you know, manifest itself into like the shape of a person, like that picture of the ghost in your room. Who fucking knows? We're on a goddamn rock that is millions and millions of years old that is pummeling through fucking space. Anything is possible.
Right. And the earth is flat.
And the earth is flat. Have you heard? The bird is the word, baby.
I still can't get over that.
Get used to it. We're on a fucking frisbee right now.
That's true.
We're flying through.
I mean, like, obviously it's not, but it's just like the things that guy was saying in Shane Dawson's made a lot of sense. Like, the fact that the fucking globe is photoshopped and we don't really know what it looks like. I
think it's interesting to think about and understand both sides of the story, but let's be realistic here.
It's not flat. I mean, I think it...
You know what is flat?
Your chest.
I was going to say your chest, you bitch.
You wish. We all know I have really big boobs.
Big old yabos. You got like Thora Birch titties. You ever seen Thora Birch's titties?
No, I'm about to look up a picture
Look
of her.
them up.
But like for me, it's just like I'm so small I shouldn't have a chest like this.
Love it. I love a big old chest. So let me just talk about... Who's going first? I don't recall.
I am.
Oh. Okay.
Because you went first. Oh my god, she played, what's her name in Hocus Pocus?
Yeah. And she was in Ghost World. Ooh, wow, that comes full circle. She was in American Beauty.
I looked up Thera Burt.
Thera. Oh my god, you're Thera. Sarah used to send me Snapchats of her.
Did I show you the one Trish sent me?
Yeah. And she had a character named Thera.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Thera? I hope she's doing well.
I don't know. She just fell off. I think I started to really become her, so I didn't have to take pictures anymore.
Okay, then I guess I'll stop before my story. So why don't you give us a little, why don't you wet our whistles?
So, I did some hotels in Texas that you could either visit or, not visit. Like,
fuck, what the fuck, Sarah?
Am I good?
No,
it's crazy because I literally had like 5 days off, and I can't even be like, oh, I'm tired. I'm just really stupid. I meant to say like some you can visit now, and then some are like some are like broken down, and then others you can still visit.
All right, that makes more sense. I thought you were. Okay, I'm sorry.
Laugh at my pain.
I will do so.
The first one is the Driscoll Hotel. It's located in downtown Austin.
Really quick, before we jump in this, I just want to tell our listeners that before we started this podcast, I think it was last summer. It might have been like last spring into the summer. Sarah and I were talking about, before doing this podcast, doing a web
Don't
series.
give people the idea.
People have done it already.
Oh.
And we could still do it. We're just
That's
both
true.
really busy right now. But what we were
sure
going to do is
are.
we actually planned it all out. In my notebook, I have like the phone numbers and the contact information for people. What we were going to do was go to different haunted hotels on like the East Coast. And
Do like vlogs.
yeah, and we were going to have a camera guy, my friend Nelson, follow us around. He's probably listening to this like, what the fuck? Y'all
Hey,
didn't tell me.
Nelson.
No, we did. I did talk to him about it briefly, but that fell through when I was like, fuck, that's a lot of
We
gas.
gotta live life.
That's a lot of food. That's a lot of camera footage.
That's a lot of time.
So I said, you know what? Let's buy some fucking mics and let's sit down.
Let's put them in our mouths. You know it.
That did not taste good. All right, sorry. Let's shuttle on back to Austin, Texas.
So it's one of the oldest hotels in the city, and it's still functioning. So you can go in there and stay. If you would like to get scared and pee your pants, I mean, be my fucking guest. So people have reported hearing unexplainable noises in empty rooms, seeing aspirations in chairs and through windows.
Apparitions.
Apparitions?
Seeing their dreams. Just seeing them manifest out the window. Oh, spooky.
Apparitions.
Apparitions.
Yes.
Mhm.
Am I good?
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I am. I'm feeling life. The area with the most paranormal activity occurs on the 3rd floor. This floor was home to a portrait of a young girl. Some people have claimed to feel a presence when they look at the portrait. Others have felt or seen things touching their arms or face when in front of the portrait. So that was the Driscoll Hotel.
Wait, but is there a picture of like what the girl looks like online? You couldn't find it?
Let's see.
Because now I'm like, I need to know what the frick she looked like. Oh, that's not creepy. Is that it? It's like a cute little girl with flowers. Did you hear that?
Did you fart? I hate you.
It's the ghost of Miller Lite's Pass. Ooh, low calorie.
Ooh, spooky. Oh. So the next one is the Baker Hotel. It's not open for visitors right now, but they're expecting that it'll be redone and open with modern amenities. So
When did it close? Do we know when it closed?
no, but I know it opened in 1929.
Okay. Wow, it's really not. I mean, it's old, but it's not. Okay.
So the haunted stories surrounding the hotel focus on 2 deaths that occurred when it was open. One woman committed suicide in the hotel on the 7th floor, and she jumped from the balcony to her death. Guests have claimed to see a female ghostly figure on this floor. Another death was of a man who was killed in a closing elevator door.
No, not an elevator.
It's always elevators.
I'm not doing it. Escalators for life.
And then it says there have been many more other than these 2. Some visitors claim to have seen orbs, hear voices, and even smell aromas at the Baker Hotel. It says phantom aromas, which I guess it means like
Yeah, things that aren't there. Because we, I forget, it was either you or I, obviously, who fucking talked about
who
it
else
in
would it be?
our haunted not hotel, the hospitals or asylum
Right.
episode. I think it was you who was talking about it smelled like baked bread. Or maybe it was me, but it like would smell like baked bread when it hadn't been opened in years.
Right, and I feel like that, like, okay, I can see the cigar thing, but that, like, how?
Fucking ghost of carbs past. Get out of here
Ghost
with
of
your
my-
pumpernickel ass.
Goes to my 6-pack jelly rolls past.
Oh, baby.
Do you have your charger?
My computer charger?
Yeah.
I had to plug it. You saw me plug it in. What are you at?
I'm at 5.
Okay, here. You need it more than me right now. Why is it so hot? My fucking MacBook charger gets blazing.
Ew.
Yeah.
So the next one is the Hotel Galvez and Spa. Ooh.
Ooh, get your spooky spawn.
The thing that sucks about these hotels is, like, because I was so specific in, like, Texas hotels, there's not a lot of, like, information on them. It's all the same information.
Why'd you do just Texas hotels?
It was because that was, like,
You were in a barbecue mood, baby.
Because it was like there was a lot in that one place, so I wanted to keep it like
I like it.
in one
Texas.
place. Because like if people want to visit Texas and they hear this, they could like
Go to there. Oh my God. You should be.
I'm a travel agent.
I was just going to say you should be a travel agent. I'm going to get out of my head.
Yeah.
You freaking crazy.
I'm telling you, I'm psychic.
You're psycho.
So it opened in 1911. Oh, that was
A couple years ago.
just 2. The Hotel Galvez is still open for business, but not many guests choose to stay in room 505. It is said that the 5th floor of the Hotel Galvez and Spa is haunted by a female ghost known as the Lovelorn Lady. She hung herself after hearing that her husband died at sea. Now guests in room 505 claim to feel an eerie presence in the room along with a strong smell of gardenias.
Gardenias.
I knew I was going to say that wrong.
That's okay.
Gardenias. I think that's my birth flower.
There is no such thing
Yes, there is.
as a birth flower.
Yes, there is.
I love how we're talking about ghosts, and I'm like, there's no such thing as a birth flower.
Right. As of everything you could say, there's no such thing of. But I believe in ghosts.
I believe in ghosts 100%, but that's kind of really fucking sad. If legend is true, which is alleged, that...
You think people really listen to this and be like, they're lying? I'm listening to this to tell the truth.
Girl,
I feel like people who listen to this know they're into this shit.
Have you ever read my fucking YouTube comments on my YouTube channel?
That's true.
Yeah.
You like boy?
You like boy? Fuck, man. People love to tear it up.
I can't wait for you to see my tweet of the
dick.
week.
Oh. Awkward. I can't wait to see it either.
Oh my god, it's literally gonna throw you for a loop because I've been thinking about it all day.
Oh my god, loopy loop and pull. Now your shoes are looking cool.
Next one is the Menger Hotel located in San Antonio.
Oh wait, I didn't finish the thought. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
but
go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say it's so sad if the legend is true that this woman finds out that her husband died at sea. 1, that's tragic. 2, she decides to kill herself. And 3, her spirit is stuck in this fucking probably dumbass hotel room.
That no one wants to stay in the room, so she's lonely.
Did you see the movie 1408?
Is that like a documentary?
No, it is not, but thank you for asking. It's the movie where the guy is stuck in the hotel room.
I feel like I have. Does he jump off? Or try?
It's with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. And he stays in a hotel room and he can't escape it. I remember I saw it in theaters, and that movie, I know a lot of people don't like it because it's like, oh my god, this is fucking stupid, but that movie literally made me feel like I wanted to leave the theater because it made me so uncomfortable.
Really?
It was like a psychological horror film that fucked me up in the best way.
Right.
And it came out when I want to say maybe 10 years ago, maybe more. But when it came out, I saw it in theaters and I wanted to leave the theaters the second
Dude.
the second there was a glimpse of hope in the film. I was like, perfect, this is how it ends. Let's
Nope,
go.
Just kidding.
You
need to see Hereditary.
I know, I really want to see that movie. Don't tell me no
It
spoilers.
just made me really anxious.
That's what I was gonna listen to the Good Morning Nancy podcast, but they had a spoilers thing, so I was my finger was hovering over that bitch, and I was like, no, I can't do it.
Well,
I
shout
can't
out to
do
them
it.
for saying there's a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Am I good?
I have no idea, but 1408, he just imagine being stuck in a hotel room and you open the door and it's like a fucking brick wall, and you try to jump out the window.
I saw it before.
But when you hit the ground, you wake up
you
in
go
the hotel.
back to the hotel, right? I've seen it.
No, thank you. Hopefully somebody's home because I haven't even talked about this haunted ass house and people are making noises upstairs.
Ghosty, shut up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, the Menger Hotel in San Antonio is home of a number of alleged haunted institutions. The hotel is said to be one of the most haunted places in Aloma City.
No homo, Alomo.
Alomo City. It's one of the oldest hotels in Texas, opened in 1859. And there are claims that 32 different entities haunt the hotel.
32?
People are saying that the ghost of Teddy Roosevelt is in the hotel, but I'm just going to X that out because how?
He got other shit to do.
I'm saying.
Let it go.
It's crazy because all these hotels are beautiful.
Yeah, when I was looking up some of the inns,
Yeah.
INNs, they were a little fucking sketchy, the haunted ones that I was looking up when we were going to make this a show. But yeah, a lot of them are beautiful.
They're so nice. And then some of them are just like, oh. So I have one more. This is the last one. This is called the Gage Hotel. It was built in the 1920s for Texas rancher Alfred Gage. This hotel is still open. It's near Big Bend National Park. Sadly, Gage passed away a year after the hotel opened, and now it is said that the hotel is haunted by Gage, and they witness seeing him in the garden, the front porch, and roaming through the hallways. There's also another spirit in the hotel. Room 10 is home to a female ghost. Guests claim to have heard a female voice reading poetry and feel unexplained taps on their shoulder or back.
Ooh, she's just sitting in a rocking chair in the corner reading like Audre Lorde poems.
Like,
I could fuck with that.
I can't.
I
don't like things. I get scared when people. I don't like to be looked at through windows. It's literally my ultimate fear. I don't know what the fuck is up.
Wait. Julia, I know you're listening to this, our friend Julia. Can we just talk about the man who looks
God,
through the window?
yes, go do it.
So, many moons ago, before any of you were born, Sarah and I lived together, and there, I guess was our front window was like a couple steps higher. That it was like if somebody's walking past our window, their head would be at the bottom of the window and you could clearly like look in and shit. And it was during the summer, so our window was open. Our windows were barred, which was like nice considering where we were living. But Julia was sitting there and she was like, I guess the guy came up to the window and Julia was like, there's like a dude over here. So Sarah goes to the window and she's like, what? And he said something. I think he was like trying to smoke or get in or some shit, or like trying to ask for beer or money or some shit. And Sarah just screamed and turned around and just like ran.
I don't like when people look at me through windows. I don't fuck with that shit.
But honestly, why was that man like straight up coming to our window?
I'm saying, why are you in my window?
Excuse me?
Don't come through my window. I'll shoot you.
I'll shoot you.
Did we ever tell that story before on here?
I don't think so. I totally forgot it until Julia brought it up like last month.
That made me laugh so hard.
I LOL.
Thanks, Julia.
Laughed out loud.
Oh my god. Am I okay?
Was that the end of your
Yep, sure was. Thera Birch.
Thora?
I know.
You're making fun of yourself.
Yes,
Okay, I get it.
Thera. Joke.
Shane Dawson, I think, stayed at one of those. I don't know which one he stayed
really?
at, but yeah. I think one of those. It was somewhere in fucking Texas. I don't freaking know. Hey guys, it's me. I'm going to be talking about my own paranormal stories. So let's rewind to my childhood. I was probably in 4th grade and I was friends with this kid. His name was Ethan. His mom introduced me to tarot cards and their house was a little creepy. And there was one night where we used to film like dumb shit. And one time we set up the camera on a tripod and we had it pointed at the wall and, we literally were just throwing like Beanie Babies at each other and we decided to film it because we thought it was funny. We had like a Beanie Baby war, whatever.
Love that.
And behind us is this giant
BBW.
What? Beanie Baby war? It's a fetish. So behind us is this giant china cabinet and there's like decorative plates and all this shit that's like, you know how people are like, let's not eat off these plates, let's display them. Perfect. So that was like behind us. And when we were filming it, you could see it in the wall behind us. So we're throwing shit at each other and we're not really near it and we're making sure we're steering clear of hitting it. And I remember it so vividly that neither of us hit it and it just fucking flew to the floor. Like
the whole cabinet?
It was standing up straight and it just like, and it looked like it was forcibly pushed. Like it didn't look like it would toppled over. And this shit was, if you throw a Beanie Baby at it, maybe it'll break the glass in the front of it.
It will not.
No,
Like,
homie.
push
It
it
fucking,
over.
like, it was vertical and that shit fell forward and was horizontal. And it fucking smashed. And
The whole cabinet
the
with
whole
the plates.
fucking cabinets, the plates, the
Yikes.
whole everything. So we were weirded out because his basement was some weird shit to begin with. So
Right.
we went
Naturally.
and we told, like, we were so nervous to, like, tell his parents, but we were, like, playing the blame game. I was like, you fucking did it, even though, like, we both knew that. I swear to God, we were far enough away from it, and when it fell, neither of us hit it with one single fucking Beanie Baby. So we are like, hey, we got this shit on film. Like, let's see who really did it. So we go and we play back the film, and it's, like, recording everything perfectly, and right before it fucking falls, the screen goes black. The cabinet falls, and then the camera footage, like, continued with it on the ground.
Nope. I am good. I am gone. I am
So,
great.
There was another time, and we set up a camera in the basement, and we had left it, like, recording, and
No.
it was, like, pointed at like on the towards the couch or something. So we had left it recording, and when we went back to, like, record something else, it started recording over the shit at the beginning of the tape because it had, you know, when the tape
already, like,
finishes,
it
it
records
stops
over.
and it rewinds. So that's what it had done, and we were like, fuck no, we're recording over great footage. And we were trying to figure out, because we didn't know that we had left it recording. So we were fast forwarding, and we were the only two people. Like, his parents were home, but his parents were not downstairs. Like, the downstairs was like kids zone, fun times.
Right.
Smash the china cabinet, great place for a fucking china cabinet.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Ethan's
Why would you put it
parents.
downstairs
I'm
in the
saying.
basement? Like, aren't you supposed to put it upstairs on display?
Yeah, display your damn solo cups, bitch. So we watch back the footage, and I don't know why I remember this. And maybe, you know, there could be a logical explanation. But in the video footage, it was like the coffee table, and there was a hammer on the coffee table. But when we were watching the video back without moving anything, the hammer was, like, gone. And nobody had, it was, like, on the same day. It wasn't like we had left the camera and gone. Like, we
Right.
left the camera recording, went upstairs to eat food, came back down, and, like, the hammer.
And did you ever find the hammer? So was it back on the table?
No, in
but
the
gone
video.
in the video?
In the video footage, it was on the table. When we went down there, it was not on the table.
Right. Yikes.
I don't remember if we ever found it, but I just remember that making us really uncomfortable.
That's like some Deborah Logan shit. If you want to watch a scary ass movie, watch The Taking of Deborah Logan.
That was a very tastefully done found footage film, when found footage films have been done so many fucking times. I enjoyed that movie thoroughly.
It was really good.
It was good. Okay, so that was a little piece of my childhood. Then in high school, you know, I spent a lot of time playing with Ouija boards in graveyards. Honestly,
Nope.
There was one spring break. I feel like it was probably my junior year of high school, where I literally spent every night of spring break in a graveyard with my friends.
Amazing.
Good
What
times.
a life to live.
Let the good times roll. And there was one time I remember I did a Ouija board. My family had rented out a beach house, and I did a Ouija board with my cousin Julie, and we had done Ouija boards before plenty of times, but this time when we were doing it, I don't know why, but I just felt this, and I don't think I've ever really felt this feeling before.
Right.
I just felt this really off, fucking really dark, bad feeling. Like, I didn't even feel like I was in the same beach house. Like, once we like, the thing started moving around, and somewhere in the back of your head, sometimes you're just like, is it this person fucking with me?
Right.
Because I am a believer in the Ouija board. Like, I feel like, you know, the Ouija board is used as a tool of, like, divination to connect with another realm, or, like, some people say dimension, but people are I'm gonna go get my tinfoil hat. But you get what I'm like, to connect with the dead. You know, you're opening a door that sometimes you don't know how to close. But I feel like when you're not using it, I don't subscribe to the fact that it's like this evil fucking board. I subscribe. If you guys like this show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. No.
Smash that subscribe. I hate when people say that.
Smash that like button,
Right,
dude.
like,
Let's see if we can get
ew.
this to 2 likes. Mom, I'm counting on you. So I don't subscribe to the fact that like it's like an evil fucking board. I think it's all about intention, and if your intentions are evil, it can be
brings that
used.
out.
But you know, sometimes if you're just super vulnerable, which I feel like is kind of a downfall. I feel like I have control of it now, but when I used to do these Ouija boards, I'm like, wow, I was kind of a fucking idiot. That I'm just super vulnerable because I'm like, whatever entity wants to talk to us, if it'll entertain me and if it'll like make me believe that there's something really here, I'm open to whatever.
Right.
And
Because you want to be scared or something.
yeah, because it makes me feel alive. That's weird and depressing, but can I steal this back?
Yeah.
Okay. But so we're doing it in this house, and I just feel so fucking like awful. And the thing like moved and then it stopped moving, and she didn't say anything, I didn't say anything, and then I was just like, all right, I think it's time to go. So I move it to goodbye, and she was just like, I feel like awful. And I was like, yo, you felt that too? Like we had connected with something else earlier that night, and
If you continued to play with it, it would have ended up bad.
we stopped. And I don't think her and I have really done Ouija boards since then.
Yeah, she was like, I'm out.
Yep, gotta go. But I literally have a Ouija board under my bed. I have multiple Ouija boards. But yeah, I like them. I like to fuck.
I like them.
I don't necessarily like used ones.
I've like played with it. I've like played with one once. I don't think like anything really happened.
I've played with it with people who like I know are doing it.
Oh, okay.
And like won't be like, we played with one for the video for 11th House when we filmed that.
Yes,
but that wasn't like real.
Right.
I scared the shit out of Stassi though. That was funny.
Did. Stop, guys, stop.
I'm gonna get to my haunted house. I have one more thing I want to talk about before I talk about this house, and I feel like I'm procrastinating it because it kind of scares the shit out of me. But then
strap on, Johnny.
Strap on. The other haunted thing was the college dorm I lived in freshman year in good old Philadelphia that my cousin Allie now lives in. So shout out if you're listening to this.
It's much better now, and it's not a dorm anymore.
Yeah, it is so nice now. But I was hanging out with my friend Sam, and Paranormal Activity had just recently come out, and it was like the very first one. I don't think the second one had come out yet. And we watched it, and we were like, wow, that was almost...
Okay, those movies used to scare the shit out of me.
They're scary, but...
They're just real. Like, it's like a real life situation. Like, obviously, like, the whole thing isn't real, but, like, I don't know, just, like, some of it, like, just getting, like, pulled in thin air.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is scary, but it's also Hollywood. So we watched it and we were like, wow, that like almost lived up to how much it was hyped up. Also, side note, and I know that this is like an unpopular opinion, but last night for the first time I watched Jurassic World, the first one. First off, don't remember it coming out in 2015.
Were you scared?
Did you think it came out that long ago? 2015? I was like, I thought it came out legit last year.
No, I thought it came out in like 2000.
No, not Jurassic Park, Jurassic World with Chris Pratt.
Okay.
The one with Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it. Not gonna lie, might be unpopular opinion, but the CGI from the first Jurassic Park was better than this one. Like I was watching it and I was like, I feel like I'm watching like a low budget fucking movie.
Okay, Jonathan's was a film student, so like I trust his opinion over everyone else's.
Also, I'm like nitpicky. Like I didn't like the new It, and I know people will come for me for that, but I think the new It definitely should have been. It was way too fucking rushed to be in one movie.
The first one was so much better.
Did you see the new It? Well, they haven't come out with the second part yet. As we're recording this, we don't. It could redeem itself, but
No, I've never seen the first one.
Oh, what? The new version?
The new version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did. Well, you literally just said it. The old one was so much better.
I've seen like clips.
So
do I need to see the whole movie?
I don't want to like ruin it for anybody, but there was an opening scene. There was something that happened that really piped it up, and I was like, holy shit, I'm ready for this. And then everybody's fucking backstory, because you got a lot of characters. I think there's like 6 kids, maybe 8 kids. I don't fucking know, eat my ass. But each kid's background story was cut so short to like 5 minutes, and it was like, I can't connect with any of these characters. Is that girl, is she really going to still fall for that dude, even though it was the other dude who wrote the fucking poem for her? Anyway, unpopular opinion, but that was a side story to a side story.
That's how we do it here
Hello.
at Esoteric Oddities.
And wait, what was I saying? Oh, the Jurassic Park. I didn't like it. And when the dinosaurs fucking talked to each other.
Oh, I don't like that. Like real words?
No, not real words. Yep. Just like that. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine if they had like subtitles and they were just like, hey, yo, fuck this bitch? I don't know.
Okay?
I didn't like it.
You don't have to like
I
it, boo.
didn't-
You don't gotta like anything you don't want to like.
Thank you. I didn't hate it. I wanted to watch it. But once it started nearing towards the end, I was like, all right, I'm getting a little tired. When's this going to end? Like, this is... Anyway, what was I even talking about? Oh, Paranormal Activity. So I'm hanging out with my friend Sam. We're in the haunted dorm. Let's bring it back here, folks. I'm sorry. You need to walk the wire of my tortured mind.
Basically.
I
have to do it every day.
That is literally a line straight out of my diary from when I was like 14 years old.
I love your diaries.
Thank you. You fucking read them, you bitch! I told you not to.
You bot!
Why are you screaming in my ear?
Because you literally always say, your voice levels are down. Your voice levels are down. Well, now they're up.
And now so are our listeners. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm hanging out with Sam. We watch Paranormal Activity. And then we start talking about our own, ghostly experiences. I was telling her a little bit of that shit that I told you before. She had more stories than I did. But you know how at the beginning of this episode, I talked a little bit about how, the energy, I really think one person can add to another person's energy. That's why as an empath, when you're around people who are negative or like around people who are super emotional or around bad situations or see bad situations on the news, it affects you in a type of way that you can't really help.
I feel that.
So I feel like if you start talking about your ghostly experiences, even if they're like good or bad, it can, if there's any presence around you, I believe that, it can feed off of that and like snowball kind of.
I agree.
So after that night, before this, we had heard like some noises around, at night in my apartment. Let me rewind for one hot second. I was living in a college dorm, but it was not a typical dorm room. It was like actually an apartment, and it had 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and like a full kitchen, and it had a full living room. And I was lucky enough that I had like the biggest. There was one, I forget what my room number was. I think it was 10, because it was the room at the end of the hallway that was the biggest, and I happened to have the biggest, but that means we got one extra roommate.
Annoying.
Whatever. So, remember, it's like an apartment basically. So it's not like cinder block walls and all that shit. And the building we were in was in a really, 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 really old building that used to be a bank, and then it was some other shit, and then it was like a factory or I don't know, but
something.
Philly's an old place. I've heard they signed the Declaration of Independence there.
Into placenta.
And so we had each heard noises that night. Sam was not my roommate, but she lived in the building. Sarah lived in the building too.
And Kiko.
Kiko's in this story. She comes a little bit later. So the next day we are watching Celebrity Ghost Hunters or like Celebrity Ghost Stories or some shit like that. Or I remember there was some show. It was like Celebrity Ghost Projects or something. I don't fucking know. But we watched that and we were really hooked on like the paranormal shit. And we started talking more and more about it. This was just me and Sam. So it's me and her, and we're facing the wall, watching the TV on the wall, and our back is to the kitchen. So we're sitting there watching, and I hear my roommate like turn the sink on in the kitchen, and I'm assuming he's like getting water or doing dishes or some shit. So we continue watching, and I don't pay him any mind because I didn't really fuck with many of my roommates, and especially the one who slept with a fucking machete. Yeah, my very first roommate, like he slept in the same room with me. Like there was 2 to each room, so I had 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think
do you remember
something
him?
Wrong.
Do you remember him?
No.
Dan?
Nope.
He left earlier on. It was like when we first started hanging out. But yeah, he thought I stole his medication, and because he had a safe in his room and he left it open. I didn't go on his side of the room.
Okay, you would literally never do that.
Yeah, what the fuck? And he showed me the machete he slept with, and then he accused me of stealing shit from him, and I had to sleep in the same room as him. And he was like, do you sleep with music on? And I was like, I mean, not, I didn't want to say not really, but I was like, yeah, that's fine. So the one song I can't fucking listen to because I don't know if he did it on purpose, but his song was stuck, or his phone was stuck on repeat. It was Melancholy Hill by the Gorillaz. I used to love that song, but it was playing so fucking loud and I couldn't fall asleep, but I was too scared to go turn it off. Same with, so that song I can't listen to because of Machete Man that I used to sleep in a room with. And also, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because he had the DVD, and every time it would go back to the DVD menu, it would play the theme song on blast. It was so fucking loud, and I was afraid to touch the remote because I didn't want him to chop me to fucking pieces. College,
Honestly,
y'all.
I feel like at this point I would be like, just kill me. Like, it's fine. I'm just gonna turn your music
Well,
off.
he ended up leaving school. Anyway, so we're sitting there.
Wonder
Sam and I are watching TV, back to the kitchen. The sink has been on for a couple minutes, and I'm just like, okay, so we are not the richest people here. Let's not run up the water bill. I turn around, and my roommate's not in the fucking kitchen. So I'm like, how irresponsible the fuck can you be? Mm-hmm. So I get up, I walk to the kitchen, turn off the fucking faucet, and then I go to his room because I was gonna confront him about it and be like, yo, like, why? Like, you please do not leave the fucking sink on. So I go to his room, and the room is empty. So I'm like, okay, let me go check on the other roommates. Nobody else was in this fucking house. So I'm like, did this sink really just like turn on with nobody else in here but Sam and I, who have literally not moved our asses from the scene talking about paranormal shit? And I was like, okay, it's definitely in my head because we're talking about paranormal shit. Like, he probably left and maybe we didn't hear the door close. I was like, fine, whatever. Before I go to sit down, it's a little cold in the apartment. And when your apartment feels a little cold, you ain't got that much money, honey. So I go over, and we used to have oh, hello. Oh, I got to harvest my crops on Farmville. Hold on. So when it's cold, you don't have money for that shit. So we used to have the old, like, Honeywell, you remember our AC units.
They were shitty and dusty.
And so they were very old, so it wasn't digital, so you would have to flip the switch to the left to cool, or you'd have to flip it all the way to the right to make it heat. So it's like a physical switch. So I flip the switch to the left, I flip it to the off button. So I flip it down into the middle. It's like, off is in the middle, and then it's to the left is cool. You get it. So I physically flip the switch. AC turns off. I sit down. Not even 2 fucking minutes later, the AC kicks back on. I get up, and the switch is on the cool button. And now I'm pissed. I'm like, all right, now I got a fucking ghost as a motherfucking roommate, and all he's doing is running up our water bill and our AC.
Right, like, cut the shit, sir.
Right? I'm just like, hello, if you want to haunt my ass, that's fine, but like, I ain't got money for this bitch. But on some real shit, I was like, ooh, that's fucking creepy as fuck. So a couple nights later, Sam, our friend Kiko, and we decided to have taco night. I have no idea where you were.
I don't think I really hung out with you guys yet.
I maybe not. And we're watching this movie. It's called The Moth Diaries. Check it out. And after The Moth Diaries, we start talking about paranormal shit. The Moth Diaries isn't paranormal. It's like about vampires, and I guess it's slightly paranormal. But then we started talking about paranormal shit. So I decide that I'm playing Xbox. So I'm sitting on the edge of the couch, and I'm leaning forward, and Sam and Kiko are in the kitchen making tacos and shit. And as I'm playing, Kiko sits down like to the right of me, and our couch was kind of like, it was like a shitty fucking couch. Remember those fucking couches?
Yes, I hated those.
They're like
they were
those,
so nasty.
the type of couches that you would find in a library, like a school library. They're just like wooden
they were
and
probably,
rigid.
what is that word? Donated.
Yeah, I was gonna say donated or recycled, or they bought them from some fucking bitch. So we had the ugliest fucking brown sheet that we used as like a cover because it was just, the couch was gross. We sprayed it with disinfectant. It just smelled, and it was just gross. So we would wash the sheet occasionally when someone would blast too many farts into it.
And your roommate slept there.
He sure did. He was low-key homophobic and didn't want to sleep in the same room. Honey, you ain't hot. You ain't shit. I don't want your nasty dick. That's actually a line from my new song that is dropping tomorrow.
If you would tomorrow.
Yeah. Perfect. So I'm playing my game. I'm leaning forward, and Kiko sits on the couch next to me, and I feel her sit down next to me, like the cover that I'm sitting on like tugs under my ass. And I said something to her at like a low volume because she's sitting next to me, right? And she doesn't respond. So I turn and I look, and no one is sitting on the couch next to me. Mm-mm. And when I say I felt somebody sit down, I felt the cover tug under my ass. Right. I felt somebody's like leg next to my fucking leg. I jumped up and I freaked the fuck out. I was on the verge of tears. Kiko and Sam are like, what the fuck is going on in your little head? Get like, hello, are you okay? Yeah, so pretty much for the rest of the time. And this was, luckily, this was in the, it was about to be summer, but we had quarters, so we had school in the summer, but it was right before we all left. So it was like right before I moved out. So this wasn't happening all year. This was like the last 2 months. But every night, every single fucking night, Sam slept over because her apartment smelled like poop. So for the rest of the year, she slept over, and we would watch Lizzie McGooby.
Thank God, because seriously, I'm not being there alone.
So that was a couple years ago, and now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the house I live in now. Okay, so I moved into. I feel like I've been talking for a really long time. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I moved into the house I am currently living in. We are currently sitting in right now. I moved in June 1st, 2017, and the people living here are myself, my boyfriend Jason, and my brother Chris. So it's a good location. It's really close to the city. I can walk to bars from my house. I can walk to restaurants. And the only thing I know about the previous tenants before us is that they moved out before the lease was up. And we don't know why. And I never really bothered to ask why. And we got it for what we're getting here. We got it for like a really reasonable price. And
dun dun dun, that's where it starts.
Well, it could be nothing. It could be nothing. It could have just been like luck that worked out and shit. Maybe I manifested it because this apartment is literally like what I wanted.
Yay.
So just a little bit about my apartment. I have a finished basement, which we are sitting in right now. There's a ground floor that's got, living room, kitchen, a full bathroom. And then there's a second floor where I have my room and Jason's room, as well as another full bathroom, and then a third floor that's got my brother's bedroom and then a guest bedroom. So when we first moved in, my brother's room is all the way up on the third floor, and our stairs are kind of narrow. So he had a box spring. Oh, for those of y'all who don't know, a box spring goes under your mattress, and it's a fucking box. Like there's no folding it. It's just the size of a mattress. What
is the point?
I think it's like to give you extra support.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Right.
I think there's like springs in it and shit. But my bed is Tempur-Pedic, so getting it up and like moving it into the doorway, you could literally just scrunch it up. My brother has a spring mattress and a box spring.
Love that.
So, and he's all the way on the third floor. So we were like, well, this box spring ain't gonna go anywhere. And where are we gonna put it? So we put it in the kitchen. And my dad's like, I'm going to come over and we're going to use a chainsaw. We're going to cut up the fucking box and we're just going to dispose of it somewhere. So I'm like, perfect. So my dad, one morning when we first move in, he brings over the chainsaw. And when I go out to his car to help him bring all the shit that needs to be brought in, there's like a freshly dead black bird that just dropped in the fucking street.
Love that.
Right out front of our house. And my dad was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, oh, just joking. Like, aha. Like it's
just girly thing.
It's a bad omen, Little did I fucking know. So, also really quick, I'm going to jump back into this story, but everything I'm about to tell you, fast forward to this past spring. I was telling this story of all the shit that's happened in my house to my friend Gabby, this exact story that I'm about to tell you. And when, we were going to like some vegan festival near where she lives. And when I got to that part that I just told you about the bird fucking dropping, she parked her car and we were going to walk to the fest. Get out of the car and there's a fucking dead bird. Fresh as shit, a dead black bird right when I opened the door, right where my foot was. So there was that.
Are you sweaty?
So weeks later, we notice there's a few flies in the kitchen. And I had dealt with this before when I lived in the basement. I remember that we had like really big, weird fucking dead flies. Oh, yeah.
They were like stupid. They like just didn't go anywhere.
No, you could like catch them and like pinch their wings and like squeeze them and shit. Yeah, we didn't talk about Shadow Man.
Oh my God. I forgot about that.
I'll have to say that for a whole nother podcast.
You literally forgot about him.
That was a little more satanic than haunted.
It sure was.
But so we find some flies in our kitchen. We had only been living here for like maybe a month. And they're loud, they're big, and they're fucking like buzzing around this bitch. And the next day I notice more, and we take the garbage out. We're like constantly taking the garbage out because I'm like, maybe it's something in the garbage. Maybe like we clear out the garbage disposal. The place doesn't smell. We're just like not really sure what it is. But there's just all these flies that are in my kitchen and towards my back door where I have like a backyard and a deck and shit, but they're like kind of around that general area and near the bathroom. So my brother and I go away to the beach for about a week, and Jason could not get off work. So he is staying in this house alone.
I would never.
He sends me a text message of a picture of there have to be like 50 dead black flies on our kitchen floor, like all flipped upside down.
Love that.
I'm going to find the picture. If I don't have it, Jason has it. I'm going to put it on Twitter. I actually have a couple pictures that are going to go with this episode. So I'm probably going to post it on Twitter and or Instagram or both of them and or Facebook. Who knows? But our kitchen floor is just covered in fucking dead flies. Jason like vacuumed them up. He cleaned up the ones that he sent me a picture of because they were like in the middle of the floor. They were on the countertops, like throughout the kitchen to the back door to the bathroom and shit. So when we come back from the beach, my brother and I'm still like finding dead flies flipped upside down. And it's like, it makes me really uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay. So it was fucking weird, right? But it was not the weirdest thing that happened. So I remember specific dates because I was keeping, like, when weird shit started to happen, I was like, oh, let me keep track of this in my phone. So in September of 2017, in our basement that we're sitting in right now, as y'all have heard, we have two turtles named Duck and Aspen, and they have a heat lamp above them. Do you hear that?
Mm-hmm. That never happens.
I don't know if this is picking up, but we're getting like a lot of static. Okay, that was weird. I don't know if you're going to hear that in the episode, but we just got like a whole lot of static as we're talking about where we're sitting. Weird. So yeah, we're right behind me. Okay, I had to check.
I got you. I have behind you.
You were checking your MySpace.
I wasn't.
You were checking your Zanga. So
I used to love it, Zanga, okay?
We've got a turtle tank that it's got two turtles in it and a heat lamp. And when I was a kid, one of our neighbors had a heat lamp that the cat knocked over when the family wasn't home, and the fucking house burnt down and like straight up went into flames. So that shit has stuck with me. So point is, I do not let the cat down here because I'm afraid she's going to knock the heat lamp over. It's going to fall in the water. The whole place is going to go up in flames. It scares the shit out of me. So we always keep the basement door closed. So there was one day that I woke up before I went to work, and really quick, this is how our mornings go. Jason leaves for work first. He is the longest day. Then my brother leaves, and then I leave. And at the end of the day, I come home, my brother comes home, then Jason comes home. So I'm the last person to leave the house, and I'm the first person to come back to the house. And this specific morning, before I leave, I always make sure that the basement door is shut. This specific morning, I was cleaning our sink. Our kitchen sink was broken, and our dishwasher was broken. So I was cleaning dishes in our full bathroom upstairs. Naturally. So I was letting some shit soak, so I didn't want the cat to go in there. So I remember I was like, okay, I have like dish soap and like Lysol and shit. So let me just let this sit while I'm at work. I'll pull the door closed so the cat doesn't go in and drink the chemicals and fucking croak. So I make it a point to make sure doors are closed. So I come home from work and both the doors are wide fucking open. So I text my brother and I'm just like, hey, did you come home today? And he's like, no. So I call Jason and I'm just like, hey, did you come home today? And he's like, no. Why? I was like, because I remember making it a fucking point to make sure that the door to the bathroom and the door to the basement were closed, and now they're fucking open. And one thing about my cat does not open doors. She can barely walk in a straight line. So like this girl, someone get her help, but she does not have the ability to turn a doorknob and open doors or anything. And these doors, they were not cracked. They were like wide the fuck open. So Jason's like, no, I wasn't home. And as I'm on the phone with him, I'm in the the bathroom on the first floor that the door was open in, and I'm like cleaning the shit that was in the sink, and rinsing them off. And as I'm doing that, I hear something in the kitchen. Like, it sounded like, it's hard to explain, but it sounded like something in a really, really heavy, big, like Rubbermaid Tupperware bin had fallen from a really big height and like hit the middle of the floor. And I was like, what the fuck? And mind you, I'm still home alone. So I go to the kitchen and there's like nothing. And I was fucking scared as shit. I was like, Jason, like, can you please leave work early? Like, I don't know why, I just feel really uncomfortable, but like that situation happened. It could be nothing, but now this situation happened, and I can't
even sit still because I'm really uncomfortable.
Because we're sitting here, and I was like, oh my god, okay. So he comes home early. A couple days later, Jason and I are sitting on the couch in our living room. The back of our couch is against where the stairs are, and on the other side of the stairs is the kitchen. So our back is to the kitchen. And let me emphasize, Jason and I are the only ones home. We are the only ones home. So we're talking, I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about, but we're talking about something, and we hear legitimately someone in the kitchen.
Like walking around?
Like, we hear someone like walking around. We hear not like plates moving, but we hear things on like a surface like moving a little bit. And it sounds like somebody, like, it sounds like if my brother was home, it sounds like he was kind of like gently preparing a meal. And we look at each other, and like, we were not going to say anything because I'm pretty sure we were both a little litty lit, and we were just like, I'm terrified and I'm not going to pretend that happened.
Right.
So again, my brother is not home. So we're like, okay, maybe it's the cat. No. The cat is sitting on the recliner across the living room from us, and the cat fucking heard it too because her eyes are huge as shit, dilated as fuck, and she's staring at the kitchen, and she darts up the stairs. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking settling.
Right.
Like, I feel very calm at this point. So that was that day. Days later, I'm home alone. It's kind of dark outside. Jason is still at work, and my brother was at happy hour for work. And since this was around the fall, it gets darker earlier. So I would come home from work and it would pretty much be dark. So our kitchen sink is still busted. So I hate this.
I hate this one.
So I'm doing the dishes in the bathroom, home alone. And like I said before, we have 2 full bathrooms, which means, they each have a shower in it, and the showers, they have like a bathtub. So I'm doing the dishes, and the shower, like where the shower is it's directly to the left of me, and the shower curtain is closed. So as I'm doing the dishes gently in the sink, I hear the sound of a fucking bare foot. That was, Sarah, you just scared the shit out of me.
I'm so sorry.
I hear the sound of a barefoot squeaking on a wet floor from behind the shower curtain,
Nope.
as if someone was like barefoot standing in water.
Nope.
You know the sound that it makes,
Yeah,
like when
that
you're
squeaky.
yeah, like a
noise.
squeaky. Yeah, I heard that coming from right next to me, and when I say I froze, I fucking froze. And
I don't even know what I do.
I would do
nothing.
honestly, when I get really, really scared, I probably shouldn't say this to the ghosts that are living here, but when I get really, really scared, I freeze. I cannot move. When everybody would be like, run, 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 I can't, I
literally physically cannot move.
I can't do it. Sorry. Ask me tomorrow. I can do it for you then. So every fucking hair on my neck and my arms stood up. I have goosebumps in the worst way. I literally cannot fucking move. I was biting my tongue so hard because I have a habit of either biting my tongue, or if I have I'll bite my index finger knuckle really, really hard if I get scared. I don't know why. I've just always done it since I was little. So I'm biting my tongue so hard. I swear to God, I can taste blood. And I open the curtain and there's nothing fucking there.
Nope.
I'd rather there be nothing there than someone there, though.
That's true, because I don't know what I would do.
So
like, why? I wouldn't even check it. What would you do if there was someone there?
Wish I knew.
That's why I
didn't know what to.
Open the door. I would have.
I didn't know what to do.
Left and just sat in my room.
Y'all, if you go into a bathroom and the shower curtain is closed, fucking check behind it.
No,
And
don't check behind it.
check behind it and leave that shit open. You're telling people if you're going to go in and drop a deuce, leave that shower curtain closed, and then you hear that sound. If you got explosive diarrhea and you have to sit there the whole time.
I will shit on that person. Are you joking? I will shit on their feet.
That's a good idea. So 2 weeks later, I'm home alone again after work, sitting on the couch in the living room, as per usual. I have my back to the kitchen, and I hear bare feet walking through my kitchen on the hard tile floor. And Buffy fucking heard it too because she was looking again. And you know the sound of like bare, like it wasn't like stomping, but it was like calm footsteps. And it was not my neighbors. It was neither of my fucking neighbors.
If it was your neighbors, like, how could you
exactly
hear that?
like it was so vivid and so close to, it was like 7 feet away from me.
I wonder why it stopped.
Don't fucking say that, because now that I'm talking about it, I should have, listened to my own advice and not brought this up. But hey, anything for the listeners.
I was just gonna
if
say.
y'all don't give us 5 stars, I will personally punch you in the butthole.
Doesn't it feel like it's like looking at you?
Stop. You are really going to pull this shit right now, because I'm getting to that part later.
I'm sorry. It's just like making me uncomfortable.
So that was just another time. The next time, this wasn't my story, this is Jason's story. He had a weekday off. He is a mailman. He works for USPS, and he has really odd days off because on Sundays he like works for Amazon Prime. So he had a weekday off that my brother and I are both at work for. This is during the day. It's not at night. Nothing really creepy about it, or so you would think. Let me explain like our bedroom really quick. So the entrance to our bedroom, like the door to enter our bedroom, is on the same wall as our walk-in closet door. So Jason showers. He comes back to the room, closes the door behind him. Keep in mind, we do not have central air. We do not have central heating. And this is also in the fall, so we don't have our window units and the windows are not open. He closes the door all the way, goes into the closet, the walk-in closet. And when he comes out, like the door like swings open, like wide the fuck open. And he was really fucking creeped out by it. He said he didn't feel too good about that. Nor would I. My hair's really pissing me off. Can you tell?
Do you want a clip?
No, I'm okay.
Do you want my sunglasses? You could keep it behind your face.
I'm okay, thank you. So now it is October 2017. I purchased 3 small pumpkins.
They're still there.
2 of them are. We legitimately, which is so weird to me.
Right, like why that one?
Last October. And they're like real ass pumpkins. These are not fake pumpkins. How many months ago was October? October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It's been 9 months, almost 10 months. I purchased
a whole baby.
Almost a whole fucking baby. I purchased 3 small pumpkins. I still have 2 of them right next to us that are not rotted. Sarah's nodding right now. She's vouching for me that they are in this very room and they're real. So I buy 3 of them. Each of them fresh as balls. I do the knock test. I give them a firm squeeze, make sure they're healthy as fuck. And I put them on, I have a couple shelves in my living room. I put one of them on a shelf I put all of them on a shelf, but one of them happens to be pushed far enough back that it's touching the wall ever so slightly. So the next day I come home from work and my brother, my friend Carly, are sitting in the living room, and Carly tells me there's like some weird shit on the wall. I was like, what? So I look over and lo and behold, there's like this gooey shit dripping down the back of the wall, like from the bottom of the one shelf to like the middle of the fucking wall. And I'm like, ew, what the fuck is that? So
what did it feel like?
It was just like weird. It was weird, clear. It looked like, how Gorilla Glue looks when it dries, how it bubbles and it's like a really weird, like brownish tan color. That's what it looked like. And so I go and I turn the pumpkin around, and baby, I got a picture of this. Keep in mind, this pumpkin had been on the shelf for maybe a little bit over 24 hours, if it was even 24 hours. I move the pumpkin and the entire back of the fucking pumpkin is covered in black mold, only where it was touching the wall.
Dun, dun, dun.
Keep in mind.
Mind you, those plants are dying on the wall.
Oh, yeah. I have a picture of the black mold. I'll be posting it as well. So any plants that I have in this fucking house die. I have had I've had 2 cactuses since I was in high school. And I don't want to say how many years that's been, but it's been quite some time. And I brought them into this house and they died like almost instantly. I have an aloe plant that literally, I put it up in that bathroom where I heard the foot thing. Mm-hmm. I put it in there. If you go up there, I'm too lazy to take it down. I should take it down. But have you seen it?
No, I never go
All the
there.
Fucking aloe leaf. No, not upstairs on the main floor. the bathroom by my kitchen.
Oh, okay.
All of the aloe leaves have fallen off. Like they all died.
Amazing.
The cactuses are dying. I've gone through two like house plant trees, which I've had trees and shit before and I can keep them alive.
Right.
I have like succulents that really take barely any maintenance. I give them enough
they're
sunlight.
dying.
Like I have a skylight
Yeah.
and like it's perfect for like the cactuses and succulents. All of them die so fucking quick. I have a hanging plant that dies. It literally, like, I'll have to soak it in, like, I do water them, like, I take care of them, but all of them are fucking dead. And when I say, like, I had a cactus, it was the size of a tennis ball. It was like one of the round ones with flowers on it. Maybe 2 or 3 days after I brought it, because I still had these at my parents' house. 2 or 3 days after I bring it in here, and that cactus is probably about 7 years old. It's fucking deflated. It's a pancake. Yeah.
Love that. We got people smushing cactuses over here.
Yeah. So, interesting. So the next day I go to work, and this was after the pumpkin thing. Next day I go to work. I have a bruise on my hand. Don't remember getting a bruise.
Yikes.
That could be coincidental. Could have been something, but I just don't remember getting a bruise. It was a point. Thought I'd make the point. So, I was listening to paranormal podcasts this day. This is still October of last year. I'm on my lunch break at work, and I decided to look up some of the things that were happening to me and see maybe if similar things had happened to anybody else on my work computer, which I would not suggest doing personal shit on your work computer. So as I'm looking them up, I fucking shit you not, the landlines at work and the internet in the entire building go down.
Nope.
Except for mine. Within 5 minutes of me looking this shit up, the telephones are down. Like the power's still on, but the telephones and everybody's internet is down but mine. So I was like, ooh, gonna erase this history and not do that again.
Red flags.
So a few nights later.
Red from.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
A few nights later, it's October 16th, 2017. Again, I know this because I kept notes on my phone. October 16th. I'm sitting on my couch in the living room. It's dark outside. I'm home alone. Again, my kitchen is behind me, and I'm facing the opposite direction watching TV. And so it goes, my kitchen would be behind me. Then there's a little hallway where the skylight is and all the plants. To the left of that is the full bathroom. And if you walk further is my back door, where I have like back door. There's like a little alleyway. Then I have my deck. Then I have my yard. So I'm sitting there, and my back door is made out of wood, and there's like glass panels, like an old ass fucking door. It's like older, thinner glass that's on the top of my back door. And okay.
I think Jason's home.
No, I know.
Did you hear that?
I think I'm really just psyching myself out, but I
hear it.
No. I don't think you're hearing what I'm hearing. You're moved away from this. I hear someone breathing, but I think I'm psyching myself out. But I hear someone taking deep breaths in my ear right now. I really think I'm psyching myself out. So
Maybe
I'm just going to...
you're not.
Probably nothing, right?
I don't think so because...
Stop right now. I don't want to talk about it. I just need to finish this fucking story. I have to pee really bad, and I'm
Me too. I really
freaking scared.
I'm just freaking scared, okay?
So, sitting home alone at night, and I hear this at my back door.
Nope.
3 fucking loud ass knocks, not on the wood, but on the glass. And I was like, okay, maybe it's a neighbor or something. Now I've spoken to most of my neighbors, and anytime we've spoken, or I actually have gone to my neighbor's house and I've had to go to their front door, knock on their front door to talk to them about something. We would talk out front anytime. Like they would knock on my front fucking door. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So I go, and when I say I heard it on my fucking door, it was not the TV. It was not my neighbor's TV. It was my fucking back door. Someone knocking on the back. Like I know the fucking difference. Right. I go to the back door, and our back light bulb is out. So I'm flipping the switch and it's not going on. And I'm like, this is it. This is when I die. But do I fucking listen to any paranormal?
You sure don't. You just flip the switch. I wouldn't have went back there. I would have been like, I'm just gonna sit right here. You would think doing like these episodes about people getting murdered and true crime and shit, I would not do this. Put yourself in the situation. But I open the door. Just like you open that fucking shower curtain. I open the door. I look left. I look right. Nobody's fucking out there. And my neighbors if you're looking at my front door, my neighbors to the left. You did not just hear that. That.
No, it literally sounded like someone like taking a deep breath. Like,
Are you sure it's not me?
no, it's not you. Your mouth is over here, and I can't. My palms are really sweaty. I really just think I'm psyching myself out.
You told me not to say anything, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, we'll talk later. I wonder if that picked it up. Okay, so where was I? My neighbors. If you're looking at my house, my neighbors to the left of me, they have a back, a light sensor thing, and if anybody was at my back door, like anytime I go to take the trash out or take the recycling out of the back, their light goes on. So I know if anybody was actually physically there, the light would have turned on, but the light was off. So yeah, that was really interesting. So my brother comes home. This is like maybe an hour later. I'm fucking freaked out. I called Jason and I told him about it. My brother comes home and I'm sitting on the couch again with my back to my kitchen, and my brother sits down on the recliner across from me in the living room, and I'm telling him about how fucking weird it was that just fucking happened. As I'm sitting in this couch, I have my camera bag next to me. I used to do YouTube videos. I had my DSLR camera inside of it, and as I'm telling my brother this, the fucking camera inside the camera bag switches on. Now, I don't have it down here, I would do it for you, but a DSLR has a physical switch. It's not like a button that turns it on and off. It's like...
You're holding it, right?
No, you physically switch it.
Right.
And when you switch it, it makes the shutter sound. So it's like a very distinct fucking sound. And as I'm telling my brother this shit, it fucking turns on in the bag next to me.
Nope.
So I was like, all right, yeah, that fucking happened. And my brother was there at least to witness it. So then the following week, I am making a video for my friend Jess and her then boyfriend for her YouTube channel. We're sitting again on the same fucking couch. As we're filming, numbers on the cable box start fucking changing. The remote was on the coffee table in front of us. And since we are filming, not only do I have two fucking witnesses, but I also have our reaction camera as it's happening. Yeah. So if I can somehow put an audio clip of it in, or if I can find it or something, I'll put it in, or maybe I'll put it online or something. But that was just another weird thing that happened. So this part was weird. I don't know if it's haunted, but it was fucking strange for sure. So right before Halloween, Jason and I are the only ones home. We're watching TV, and to this day, I was trying to fucking piece it together today, and I still have no fucking idea how this happened. So Jason and I are home alone to watch TV. Like, we have a cable box, but to watch TV, we don't have a smart TV, so we use Chromecast. For those of y'all who don't know, Chromecast, it plugs in the back of your TV. It can make any TV like a smart TV if you have an HDMI cable. And it gives you access to the internet, and fucking, it's like a Google Chrome, like hashtag not sponsored, but it's like the Fire Stick. It's awesome. I love it. So we use it to watch like YouTube videos and shit. So we had watched a couple of Jenna Marble's older videos, and we were laughing to them and shit, and I'm like, okay, let me put on Jenna's like new video. So I go on my phone, because you can operate it off of your phone, and I put on her new video. And when I do this, the television changes from it changes off the Chromecast input, and it changes from input 3 to another input, and it said no signal. And I was like, what the fuck? I legitimately thought it was Jason, and he was just like, I thought you turned it off. And I was like, no, like, I don't have a remote.
Nope.
There's the remote on the end table. Neither of us are touching it. So I'm like, that's fucking weird. What just happened? What? Can you talk, please?
There's like a wet spot on the floor.
Did you spill?
No.
How wet is it?
Wet enough that I could feel it on my foot.
Okay. This is fun. Don't smear it around. It's fucking like ectoplasm or some shit. All right. So yeah, the remote's on the other table. So I pick up the remote and I put it back on input 3. When I put it back on input 3, where it should have the Chromecast thing and getting us back to the Jenna Marble's video, which I'm streaming off of my phone onto the Chromecast, it says no input. And in this fucking moment, this is crazy, and I still can't piece this together. In this moment, I remember a few nights before, my brother Chris had asked to borrow my Chromecast. So I said yes. So then I'm like, what? I go to the back of the television, and
unplugged.
There's no Chromecast plugged into the television. I turned to
Yikes.
Jason and I'm like, Chris borrowed it. And he's like, oh my God, he did. We walk up 2 flights of stairs, 2 floors away, and the fucking Jenna Marbles video is playing on my brother's television upstairs.
With no Chromecast.
No, he had the Chromecast was plugged into his TV. How the fuck were we watching Chromecast on our TV down here that's not a smart TV? How the fuck were we watching any YouTube video on the television in my living room without the Chromecast plugged in? You can't sling like anything from your phone to my television without a Chromecast. You cannot sling anything from a Chromecast to a non-smart television or the cable box. And
Yikes.
literally the input, and we were not fucked up for this. I'll have you know, we were sober as fuck. So that may not have been paranormal, but if anybody has any idea what the fuck that could have been or how we could have done that, seriously, please, because I was playing it on my phone onto the Chromecast app, and the Chromecast was 2 flights of stairs away. So I think that was weird as fuck. The next month, bitch, we're in the month of November. Sarah and I are home alone, and we are getting ready upstairs in our bathroom together. Again, were we home alone?
Yes.
So we're home alone, and we're getting ready because we're doing the Patreon video for the podcast. And we're upstairs, and not a single person is home. We come downstairs, and why don't you tell them what happened?
Every fucking cabinet is open. Everyone.
Every cabinet in my kitchen.
And like, how many times in like paranormal films?
I don't want to.
Do you see that though? I'm saying it's like coincidental. And I was like, haha, so funny. Like,
but we were literally together.
But he was like, I didn't leave the bathroom, and I was like, fuck, you didn't.
We together walked up the bathroom, and we got ready in the bathroom together, and then walked down the stairs, and nobody had come home. And like my brother and my boyfriend,
also they wouldn't open every single cabinet.
They wouldn't do anything to. First off, Jason wouldn't think of to do that, and my brother would not do anything to fuck us up. But he wasn't home because he came home hours later with his work clothes on.
Right,
and
he
we were
like,
said
oh
he
God,
didn't fucking do it. Yeah. So there was that,
was
and
the last time, yeah?
I swear you have video footage of that.
I have a video.
It was like a Snapchat, right?
Yeah, but
we'll have to check for it. I feel like we have it somewhere. I'll have to find it, but it was fucking freaky.
It really was.
And then for Christmas, Jason's mom got me these incredible marionettes, which you've heard us talk about. And if you follow us on Instagram, I did post on our Instagram story when this situation happened. So they're marionettes. They're hand painted and creepy as hell. They're listening right now. So I have the exact date because I made a note of it on May 15th, 2018. Like, the dolls, they're sitting like on a shelf right next to where we record the podcast, and they always sit in like a specific position, and we don't like fuck around with them, and we don't move them around a lot or anything. He's staring at me. And when I came down, the dolls were in different positions, and I took pictures because I was like, fuck, if they're gonna start fucking moving, they're literally staring at me right now. So I was like, if they're gonna start moving, I'm taking pictures every time we come down here. Yeah. And then if you didn't tune in last week, Sarah stayed the night and she heard someone whistling down the hallway. So that's always fun. And then I was watching the staircase, and I was thinking about how I said this all in the last episode. So if you've heard it, you're hearing it again. I said how about, it's crazy. You don't know your neighbors and somebody could throw somebody else down the stairs. I go to Wawa. I get a call from Jason, and he's just like, why are there a million cops on our block? I come home, our street is like blocked off by cops. I go inside, or I see my neighbor being carried out on a stretcher and his wife getting in the car. And I go in, and Jason's like, a cop just said something to me, and I don't know how I feel about it. Jason was wearing, this is just a recap from the last episode, but he was wearing his uniform, which is the mailman. So they thought that he was the mailman. He's like, oh no, I'm the neighbor. And he's walking up the stairs to the house, and the cop is getting into the cop car that is parked in front of our house. And he stops, and the cop stops, and he goes, oh, you live next to the evil house. And then gets in his car and drives the fuck away. So, those are just a couple of the weird things that have been happening here.
It could be that your house isn't, but the next one is.
But it's
it just
too close
over here.
For comfort. It
sure is.
Trickling on over. So I do sage my house. I try to sage it every full moon. I can't put my finger on saying that I feel, besides I think I was just really, 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 really scared, but I don't think I feel negative energy because I don't feel really, really bad because I felt that before. But I felt, I just feel like weird energy, not necessarily
Just off.
negative. It's just weird. And yeah, that's, I know we've mentioned it a bunch of times on the podcast, and I just wanted to get the full story out because we're always talking about how this house makes noises. And
Too spooky.
so now when you hear Sarah say this house is haunted, or like your house is haunted, like it just might be. So consider yourself filled in. I need to pee so fucking bad, and I'm afraid to
bust.
use that bathroom up there.
I'm gonna bust
a nut.
Are we gonna do the Twitter?
Yeah. Do you want to do a fun fact?
I'm gonna do the Twitter first. I literally waited all day to show you this. So this is a tweet from Emma Filey. It's at Emma Filey 13. It was posted on July 3rd. She said, I ordered some clothes from Ramwi, and I found this message on the tags. It caught my attention and made me concerned. I'm worried that this could be a cry for help, but I hope that I'm just reading it into it too much. So it's the tag from a clothes, and it says, help me. Look.
Ramwi, help me. Oh, that honestly kind of fucking breaks my heart because it's like
They're getting worked for days for 15 cents an hour.
oh, that is
It's
so
just,
sad.
that's crazy. Like, help me.
Don't buy from I don't want to say that. I don't want to because I don't know how true it is, but
That's just like, why is that on there?
well, fuck.
Like, made in China.
Yeah. Help me. Oh no, someone help them.
I'm saying, help them.
Well, my fun fact is that ketchup was sold as medicine in the 1830s.
I love that.
Yeah. I wonder what it cured.
Ketchup. In Switzerland, it is illegal to own just one guinea pig. It's because guinea pigs are social animals and they are considered victim of abuse if they are alone.
Oh, that's sweet.
Right?
Thanks, Switz. So this is from at the Alan Shane. It says, Nick Carter asking the rest of the Backstreet Boys, quote, am I sexual? And the homies responding, quote, yeah. Is the type of positivity I'm going to need from my support system going forward.
Love that.
So I liked that tweet. Very fantastic. Thank you guys so much for listening
to that banter.
If you have any paranormal stories, email them to us at odditiespodcast@gmail.com. You know where to follow us on Instagram at Esoteric Oddities, on Twitter, Esoteric Oddity, ODDITIE. Find us on Facebook. We're not too active on Facebook anymore these days. Maybe we'll pick that up.
And
Maybe
not too
we
active
won't.
on Twitter. I'm just trying to get it. Twitter's a different world.
Heard
I
that.
feel like all I know how to be is depressed on Twitter.
You heard it here first. And if you guys would like bonus episodes, oh, hello. Sorry, I'm dropping my shit here. If you want bonus episodes and other cool content, head on over to patreon.com/esoteric oddities and support us for any amount. It really fucking helps us out. It really helps us get from point A to point B. You know, Sarah and I, we live close, but we don't live that close. So every week we got to do transportation to and from.
An hour and a half commute.
So, well, it's not. It's an hour and a half public transit.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Then I drive her the rest of the way, so it's a whole thing, and then drive back. So your support honestly means so much to us. Thank you to those who support. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Sarah out.
And stay posted follow us on social media because I have a feeling weird shit might happen. You know what? I take that back. I don't want to put that out there in the ether.
Yeah,
everything's going to be great. And you know what? I'm going to find money on the ground tomorrow or tonight. I really need to pee and I'm kind of scared to pee. Thank you guys for listening.
I could pee with you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.